Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Charles. I hope that this is finding you doing well. I know that the news is alarming and scary, but just remember that we are in this together. We are separated, but we're not alone. We have each other. And what I wanted to do was share a story with you. I remember when I was 19 and my best friend and we saw a flyer it was around Halloween, and we saw a flyer for a haunted house. And we wanted to check out the haunted house. And so we went Halloween night and we parked. The haunted house was an old converted church. It was huge. So we go inside the house and we're guided by these gentlemen in robes and candles, and we go through the different levels of the house, and there are different ghosts and different monsters that jump out, and there are all these different things that are happening. It gets dark, it gets light. We got hit with water pistols. It was crazy. And it was the greatest, best haunted house I had ever been a part of. To this day, we still laugh about it. It was so much fun. Even had trap doors. So people in our group of 4 or 5 got separated. And then at the end, we came back together. And as I was thinking about that, I thought, well, how could I play with that? How could I connect that with our reading today? I know it's not Halloween, but a good ghost story is always a lot of fun. And so today, I'm going to be reading from A Weird History, A Twisted Tour of America's Bizarre Past. And today, we are going to talk about ghosts that exist in the White House. Allegedly. Well, you know who lives there. The President of the United States. And apparently, past residents decided to never leave. So it's rumored that every now and then, you just might run across one. So let's read about this today. Ghosts at the White House. I'm David Burns. Did you hear something? Nah. The White House is said to be the favorite haunt of crusty old abstinent Mr. Burns. Apparently, it's also inhabited by a long list of deceased presidents and family members. Abigail Adams was the first lady of the second president of the United States, John Adams. She was also the first lady to live in the White House and the first phantom first lady to haunt the place. They said she could be seen hanging laundry in the East Room. The Rose Garden at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is protected by the ghost of another First Lady, Dorothea Dandridge Payne Todd Dolly Madison, the wife of the 4th U.S. President. James Madison, Dolly Madison planted the garden in the early 1800s, and it seemed that she doesn't like people messing with it. One famous story about Dolly's ghost occurred more than 60 years after her death. President Woodrow Wilson's wife ordered gardeners to dig up the rose bushes. Dolly's ghost appeared and scolded the men, insisting that they leave her garden alone. The frightened man ran away, leaving Dolly's roses intact. Today, the rose garden blooms every summer, just as it did 100 years ago. Over the years, there have been dozens of spooky encounters between living and dead first families. Mary Todd Lincoln was convinced that more than once she had heard the ghost of America's seventh president, Andrew Jackson, stomping and swearing in the Rose Room. It had been used as the presidential bedroom throughout Jackson's term, and so the ghost must have quite right at home. Now here's a picture of the two first ladies. Laundry time and leave my roses alone. In later years, the Rose Room became known as the Queen's bedroom because it was where the Queen of England slept during her White House visits. We never heard stories about the Queen of England bumping into President Andrew Jackson's ghost, but there is a legendary tale about another queen and another ghost. One night while Franklin Delano Roosevelt was in office, Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands was sleeping in the Rose Room when a noise woke her up. Someone was knocking lightly at the door. Tap, tap, tap. Thinking she was being summoned because of an emergency, she raced to the door and swung it open. Outside, she saw the figure of a man who had been dead more than 60 long years. It was Abraham Lincoln. Queen Wilhelmina fainted, and when she came to, the ghost was gone. In fact, of all of the White House ghosts, Abraham Lincoln's is the busiest. I see him in different rooms and in the halls, said President Theodore Roosevelt. Grace Coolidge, the wife of President Calvin Coolidge, encountered Lincoln in the room that she had once used as a library, the Yellow Oval Room. Susan Ford, the daughter of President Gerald Ford, was so terrified of running into Lincoln's ghost that she refused to enter Lincoln's bedroom. She nervously referred to the sleeping chamber as that room. Maureen Reagan, the daughter of President Ronald Reagan, spent several nights in that room with her husband, Dennis Revel. The couple claimed that Lincoln's ghost appeared to them and in an aura, sometimes red, orange. Many people believe that Abraham Lincoln's ghost only appears during times of national crisis, like a guardian angel. Others say that Lincoln simply doesn't realize he's dead, so he wanders the halls of the White House, forever fretting over the problems of 1865, the year when he was assassinated. We offer a third theory, which is every bit as believable as the first two, and it involves another well-known White House spirit. Here is that bedroom, the Queen, where she stayed, where allegedly she saw the face of Abraham Lincoln and fainted. In early 1862, the president's 11-year-old son, Willie Lincoln, contracted an illness, probably typhoid fever. Weeks later, he died. It was hard to have him die, said the broken-hearted president. Hoping to contact Willie, Lincoln began attending seances. He became obsessed with his son's death, and some psychics feel that this obsession made it impossible for Willie to rest. In other words, Willie became a ghost so he could be near his father. The ghost of Willie Lincoln has been seen many times in the White House, usually in the bedrooms on the second floor. Now, of course, all of this is very far-fetched, and you shouldn't believe a word of it. But if Willie became a ghost to be near his father, isn't it possible that President Lincoln might have become a ghost to be near his son? Perhaps Abraham Lincoln haunts the White House so that Willie Lincoln won't be lonely. Wow. Quite the tale. And we'll really never know. But I wonder, how would you react if you ran into the ghost of Abraham Lincoln or Andrew Jackson? Would you faint? Would you ask questions? Or would you run? Thank you for listening. Take care.